First question.
Let's go.
How did we end up here? Take me through your journey.
How do we end
Who
up
are
here?
you and why are we here?
So, I'm one half of the Magic Brothers. Me and my brother Hattie started our amazing journey, maybe I could say 22 years ago, when Dad bought his first shop. We were living behind the pizza shop for a while. And so we would always just be able to come in and help Dad whenever he needed it. Hattie's been working there for 10 years. I've been working there for 8 years. And yeah, then I kind of jumped out of the pizza shop for a little bit. And then I felt like I just had the calling. An opportunity came up after me and Hattie went traveling for a little bit. And then we found this first shop and we decided to call it Magic Brothers.
So did you fall out of love with pizza and left, or to seek out what you wanted to do? That's an interesting, going out, coming back in. It's the return of the prodigal son, so to speak.
It sounds like that, yeah. Well, I think I was trying to find something else.
Yeah, right.
And then I realised my skill was in pizza. I had that opportunity. I just ran with it.
So, growing a business, the difference between obviously being in your dad's established store and then you guys doing your own. Take me a little bit through that. How hard has it been to build your first store?
It's not an easy journey. I think entrepreneurship is glorified in a way. It's been difficult, but really, really rewarding at the same time. We've grown exponentially in this first store by putting in a lot of hard work, a lot of hours. We're very lucky we have Hattie, the marketing guy.
Yeah.
The hardest part right now is probably finance, and then understanding the steps forward, growing the business, and what path we need to take.
Well, that's interesting, Mack, because a lot of people would be confused by that, right? Because you guys have had excellent growth. But finance is still hard when you're growing a company, right? It doesn't matter how much your revenue is growing. There's still that point of business needs money.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys deal with that at the moment? Because that's a weird feeling sometimes. You feel like you're getting a lot of traction, but actually the tipping point of when you start to be able to take more money out of the business and do that. How do you guys consolidate that during this building process?
How do we consolidate it? As in, I think we're still trying to figure exactly what that kind of means. As in, where we need to put our money, what areas of the business do we need to kind of grow and focus on, and we're still in this testing phase of Magic Brothers and seeing what products work and see what needs to come up, and I think we're getting there. We're slowly working on the menu and to see what areas we need to invest in. So it's just a bit of a journey right now.
What do you think is the biggest challenges facing people building a business from your experience thus far?
The biggest challenge for people right now is, I think, starting off, which is, I think, the rising costs of expenses, of what it takes to actually build a business at the moment. In terms of you got all your fees, you've got wages are extremely high at the moment. I think the government is for the people right now, which is great, but it kind of leaves small businesses with a higher place to get to in terms of to break through their small business category, and then you have a bit more economies of scale in terms of growth that you can bargain with.
So with the experience of the over time, what do you think is the most crucial skills a business owner needs to navigate this part of your journey?
Maybe like connection at the moment. I say that because connection to our customers, connection to your staff, and connection to our suppliers. We've been quite lucky. Maybe not luck isn't involved. I think it's a skill of being able to understand people, connect with your employees. So we have a great team at work. People are really following the brand. Also people are following the brand in our customers as well. They enjoy the journey. They enjoy what we're trying to build, and they're supporting us like that. And then same goes with our, I guess, our suppliers and the network around us. They are on board in what we're doing, and that kind of helps because we're able to keep customers, keep employees, and have good relationships with our suppliers.
Do you think you guys having a grand ambition helps all those, I don't want to call them stakeholders, but the community you're building around get on board with what you're trying to do? Because I think there's a major difference between what you guys are setting out to achieve versus, I want to open a local pizza shop and that's it. You guys are very ambitious, which is part of the excitement. But do you think a lot of people get on board because they share that vision?
In terms of employees, definitely. I think we haven't broadened our vision enough for our customer base to see. Like we're starting to, sprinkle a little bit of dust on like what is to come for the Magic Brothers brand, and people are excited. People are asking me, "Hey, when's the second store coming? What's happening there?" But definitely within our employees, you can see a shift and a drive to want to do good at the store and try and give our best service.
Fantastic. Tell me this. I would call you guys modern young entrepreneurs, and obviously I know you quite well. So I'm always impressed by the way you guys behave and focus on your business. But I want to hear your thoughts on how do you balance your gut intuition versus data to make decisions in actually how you approach growing your business?
Easy. I'm the gut, he's the data.
That's really interesting. How do you know when you need to go to the data? Because you're a gut guy, right?
Yeah.
You see it, you feel it,
Mm-hmm.
you make decisions. But when do you know I need to think about the data? Because this is always, this analysis by paralysis, all that sort of paralysis analysis. You guys have got the right balance there. But do you think about it consciously, or is it's something you guys have just gone into that feel?
I think for me, it's definitely there is a lot of like gut feeling involved. Like I said, Hattie is more data driven than I am. I feel like I don't get a look at too much of the data, but obviously it is crucial for business to growth, especially in a directional way. And so I think when it comes to people, you feel more gut. When it comes to more solid numbers like finances, I think that's when you start looking at the data.
So we talk a lot here about being backable in business and backable people and people you can rely on. What does that mean for you to be someone who is backable in business? How do you view that being, the leader of a company and you're always evaluating the people and around you? What do you look for in terms of the people who have the right stuff to be working with and in the future with you guys?
I think it comes down to character, and it starts with yourself. I can't be looking for someone in my business to grow a business who is going to arrive on time, be punctual, do the same work that I expect them to do if I'm not providing that. So I think being backable is being backable within yourself first, having a strong sense of self and leading the path by actioning, not just by saying things.
Has your view on that changed from the day you started the business to now and the experience you've accumulated? Has anything changed in that period in the way you see your role and as you said, being backable in those key areas?
Not really. I think communication is always a value of ours, and I guess being a leader, you need to communicate within your team, and I think that gives a sense for other people to follow you, give your I guess stand by you when things are tough. Yeah.
To me, when you speak with certainty and clarity, which I think is a real important asset. Where does that come from?
That's a compliment. Thank you.
It absolutely is a compliment. Not even backhanded.
Yeah. The path is clear right now. I guess I have a great purpose right now in my life, and as a man, I think that's super super important. I feel clear. I feel I understand where I need to be, where I need to go. So that clarity comes natural at the moment because I have a path. But it never was always like this. If you met me 2 years ago, whew, different person.
What do you think's changed? Because I think that a lot of people listening probably are where you may have alluded to 2 years ago. Right? It's when you don't have that clarity of purpose, vision, and excitement about your future, it can become difficult, right? How did you move from there to here?
It's having something greater than yourself. Looking or working on something that feels bigger than your own self fulfillment. Right now, I have customers to feed, employees to pay, a dream to hit, not only for myself but for my family, for my dad and my mum. So I'd love to do that for them, and so that just feels like it's a lot bigger than what I've set, what miniature goals that I have for myself.
Like, tell me something that's shifted in terms of you guys as businessmen. What do you think's shifted at the moment to change your horizons?
It just brings me back to the first session we had here when we're in the boardroom. It was the pre-session that we had, like when you just invited people in. But we'll think we're going to just get to. We just wanted 5 stores, and here on the board I've got 50 stores plus. It's like a lot more than what we anticipated. We're not there yet, but give me 5 years, we'll be there. But yeah, I think just being able to broaden the horizon on what's possible, what we can do.
What do you love most about building your company?
What do I love most about building my company? I think seeing the people grow inside of it. Like we've got, especially one of the guys there, he's just come so far from where he started, and the admiration that I have and he has for each other, and where he just feels like a lot lighter, much better person. So I just feel that I'm very proud.
What would you say to yourself about what you're proud of over the last few years?
I would say just my commitment. I've never been this committed to anything. Never stayed in a job more than 6 months. This isn't really a job, but I guess I've created this job, but just my commitment to the cause. And yeah, I've been so consistent with the work, with what's involved. So just my consistency, my commitment to myself.
Last question. If someone was listening to this now and they're thinking about this or wanting to make the changes you have, what would you say to them?
Expand your horizon and think long term. Because people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Woo!
Good one, mate.